Applying to come study in Australia under a fully funded scholarship might be a time-consuming process for a lot of people. This is because of the time and effort involved in trying to get your supervisor, maybe trying to organize your statement of purpose and getting your transcript from your university, and maybe having to write English test and all that. But then there is a way to simplify this process, and that is what this episode is all about. If that's something you're interested in listening to, then sit back and enjoy. Surprisingly, what many people fail to realize is that you can apply to come study in Australia under a fully funded scholarship without having to write an English test. This English test involves tests like the TOEFL, the GRE, IELTS, and the rest of them. In as much as many universities here in Australia require these English tests, especially for students coming from Africa and Asia, I actually think it's not very necessary, especially if you are coming from an English-speaking country such as Nigeria or Ghana. So then the question now comes, how are we able to circumvent this English test? So before I proceed further, I would like to say that I actually got a fully funded scholarship here in Australia in one of the top universities, and I did not write an English test. Matter of fact, I don't even know what an English test looks like. I hear people say that you have to do a little listening and then writing, and I don't know what any of that looks like. I've never been to an English test center, and I don't know what it looks like, what the exam looks like. So how was I able to get my scholarship without having to write the English test? Now, one thing that most schools require in their website is that they need evidence of your ability or proficiency in English language. So this evidence, most people interpret it as TOEFL. Most agents also interpret it as maybe GRE or maybe the IELTS or whatever international exam is there. But then it also ranges to a letter from your university or from your head of department or from whichever institution you graduated, the registrar or maybe whoever is in charge of that institution, a letter from that institution, a recognized institution of course, stating that you held all your courses in English language and that you passed them. Of course, you met the school requirements and then you passed your exams in English language. This letter will save you all the time and the effort of having to go to write an English test in any of these centers, and it will also save you a lot of money because of course those English tests are very, very expensive. So this short episode is just to inform you that you don't need an English test to apply to universities here in Australia. So if you're interested in getting updates of latest scholarships in Australia, you can just click the link in the description that will take you to a website where you will see I post updates on scholarships, latest scholarships in Australia. So if that's something you're interested in knowing, then you can just click the link in the description and then it will take you to the page. Try to check it regularly because I try to upload it as frequently as I can. I mean, once I get credible information and updates on scholarships that are available for any university in Australia.